Hello YouTube and welcome back to another episode of Journal. Now, in the last episode, we went through Saturday, we went to Grandma's grave as well as talked to our dad and our mom and John, and we figured out that it looks like Mom and John had an affair at one point which led to the divorce, and now Dad is dating a new lady and we are okay with that. So, this is the last day we have to go through in Journal, so I'm going to try and make this the last episode. It might be a little bit long. If it's too long, I will cut it into two parts, but if this comes out on Tuesday, it is late because I ran into some issues, but long story short, we are trying to get a puppy and we are trying to figure things out. So, sorry about being late, but we are going to get into this now and go back into it. As always, I am your host, TheCoolJalapeno, and we're going to dive into this story once more. Hello, Mom. Honey, I'm sorry, but you really need to go to the hospital today. Why? What's wrong? It might be your last chance, sweetie. What do you mean? I know you don't like talking about it, believe me. I don't either, but it's serious now. If you don't go today... What are you talking about? I can't do this anymore. I'm just trying to hold everything together here. I want to be strong for you, but I'm falling apart. You've been making it so difficult? That's not fair. I haven't done anything wrong. What's going on? Nothing wrong? Breaking windows? Cheating on tests? Stealing? I've been really trying. I thought you understood what this has been like for me. I want to be here for you. I understand why you're lashing out, but it's so selfish. Don't you know this is hard for me too? Who is dying? Apologetic. I'm sorry. I've been trying to stay out of trouble, but I don't know why. Look, I didn't mean to snap at you. Everyone knows how difficult this is for you. For all of us. What do you want me to do? Please just go to the hospital today. I know you don't want to, but do this for me. I don't want you to regret that you never did.
Mum told me I had to go to the hospital. I've been putting it off for a while, but I just didn't want to face it.
Who is dying? Oh, it's a rainy day. Is the hospital this way? Hospital? Elena's not here. Catherine's not here either. Where's everyone? What in the world? And why is that classroom chained off? Nobody's here. Wow, I haven't run into a single person. This way? The post office is closed again. What the hell? Homeless guy is not here. The charity star... What? Policeman's gone. Is my homeless friend gone? Yeah, he's gone, but John's not here. Where is everybody? What is going on? Who's dying? They didn't... Oh, is that what, like, that weird issue with the text going crazy? Is that what that was? Okay, so it must be this way. Probably this way. The priest isn't here. I'm all by myself. Hi, Grandmama. Okay, can't talk to you. That's fine. Dad. Dad will talk to me. Dad? Alright, this is really creepy. Oh, there's a puppo outside. Hi, gang. I was just looking for you. Elena? Elena, what are you doing here? I know this has been tough for you. I've tried to be a good friend, to be there for you during it all. I know I haven't always been a good friend. Honestly, you're a terrible friend. And I've been letting you get away with it for so long, I can't do it anymore. Really? You're gonna say all this to me at a time like this? I know it's not fair, but I just can't put up with it anymore. I'm not your doormat. Great. Thanks. I'm sorry. I really do hope she'll be alright. I hope you'll be alright, but I just can't be there for you. Fine.
I lost Eleanor as a friend that day.
Oh.
I was so angry at her. I wanted to blame her for it, but it was my fault.
John? She'll be alright, kiddo. It'll all be fine. It has to be. Thanks, and I'm sorry if I've said things lately, things that I shouldn't have. Don't worry about it. No matter what anyone says, they know you're going through a rough time. I wish I could do things over. Don't fill your head with regrets. Life will always throw crap at you. You've just got to deal with it the best you can. I just feel like I've made so many bad choices. The real kicker is, even if you made different choices, it probably wouldn't change the outcome. Okay? I don't know about that. The toughest thing about life is realizing how much of it is out of our control. It's not all down to making the right choice or the wrong one. That's what hurts the most. Thanks, John, for everything.
John told me it wasn't my fault. I wanted to believe him, but I just
Did I
wanted so
fucking
hard
kill
to turn back the
somebody?
clock.
Priest? Hi. I'm so sorry, my child. I know that times like this can test even the strongest of us. I just don't know how to deal with any of this. Maybe you shouldn't be trying to deal with it. Just accept that we must at times face deep sadness. And then what? In time, the sadness will pass, and you'll move on with your life. But don't try to rush this process. Just let it happen. That's not very reassuring. At times such as these, there is often no particular solution. No quick fixes to make things better. This is ominous music and we're floating. I just realized
I
that.
thought the priest would have something to say that made me feel better about everything. But instead,
Ugh.
he made me feel like this would go on forever.
Hey, Trevor. Hey, I'm sorry about all this. It really sucks. Yeah, it really does. I wish I had something positive to tell you. I can't even cheer you up with the comic. Why not? I decided not to do it. It was just stressing me out too much. It's okay, though. Nobody was looking forward to it. I'm sorry about that, Trevor. I can't stay to talk, though. Yeah, it's okay. I just figured I'd let you know. You were the only one who ever asked about it. Thanks. I guess I'll have to stop asking now. I know I'm probably not who you'd usually go to about stuff like this, but I'm around if you ever want to talk. Thanks, Trevor. You're not as bad as everyone says you are, honestly.
I guess I'd always been dismissive about Trevor. But he was the only one of my friends who seemed to understand what I was going through.
Do I have a sister that's dying or something? Ooh, this hospital is falling apart. Can I go this way? Hi, Keith. Hey, how are you holding up? Not great, to be honest. I understand. I'm sorry. Yeah, everyone seems to be sorry, but I'm not even sure what that means anymore. We just want you to know you're not alone in this. I appreciate the sentiment, but honestly, I am alone. Trust me, I know how it feels. When I lost my dad, it just hurt so much. People wanted to help, but I didn't know how to let them. I know you're trying, but even knowing that, it doesn't help me. I can't stand all the sympathy. I'm sorry you feel like that. I really do appreciate everything you've done for me. I just wish there was a way I could do the same for you. Don't, please. Just not right now. Okay, sorry, I'll leave you alone.
Keith means well, but he just makes me feel even worse about everything.
Nobody's missing so far. Even the teacher's here. Anne, hi. I came because I wanted to say goodbye. I'm sorry things didn't work out for you here. I know I probably haven't made it any easier. It's okay. It's not your fault. I know what you're going through must be horrible. Don't worry, I understand. No one wants to talk about it. No one even knows what to say. I guess we don't want to make things worse somehow. Nothing anyone could say could make this worse. I suppose not.
Anne wanted to help.
Who
but
is
she couldn't.
dying?
No one could. It was long past the point where anyone could.
Did I miss something? Hey, Teach. I don't want you to worry about school for the time being. We all understand this is difficult for you. Thanks. I'm sorry I haven't been behaving well. I don't mean to be that way. It's fine. No one's judging you. Someone your age shouldn't have to face something like this. I wish I wasn't. I know. I'm truly sorry. Believe it or not, I do actually know what you're going through. Really? Why? I probably shouldn't tell you this, but a few years ago, I got pregnant. There was a complication and I lost the baby. That's awful. Are you okay now? I won't lie, it's taken a long time for me to come to terms with it, but yes, I'm fine now. You will be too, eventually, even if it doesn't feel like it.
I had no idea Mrs. Marston had lost a child.
Oh.
I don't
So
know why,
your mom was
but
pregnant
it
and
helps
lost a
to be
baby.
reminded I'm not the only person to go through something like this.
So it must have been a sister or something. Catherine. Oh, you're here finally. What are you doing here? Keith said I should probably come down here and say something. Say what? I don't know, I'm sorry for your loss or whatever, but I don't know what I can do about it. Yeah, don't worry about it. And listen, I guess I'm kind of sorry for the way I've been lately. For ages, really. I haven't noticed that you've been any different. I haven't, but I'm trying to change or something. Concerned. Is everything okay, Catherine? Yeah, it's fine. My parents... Well, it's just... I always thought how I acted was up to me. What are you trying to say? What happened? Just shut up and listen. I've already had to have this talk with like 5 other people. Okay? I know I've caused trouble for everyone at school in some way or another. I didn't really care at the time. But I won't do that anymore. I'll try not to. No promises. Okay. That's it anyways. That's all I want to say. Alright, bye. She'll be fine, so that's good, right? Yeah, thanks.
It was no surprise to me that Catherine was utterly clueless. I couldn't blame her.
I'm
If things
savage.
had been the other way round, what would I say?
Okay, the suspense is killing me. We gotta go to the hospital. I gotta know what's going on. Hey, there's a little carnival, like the one in my room, and the Ferris wheel. Can I help you? Yeah, I mean, I think so. My mother told me I had to come today. Oh, that's right, of course. Just head straight through. She's in the private room at the back. How is she? Is your mom not coming with you? It might be best if we all discussed it together. No, she never tells me anything anyways. Well, I'm not sure we should talk without your mother present. I need to know. Alright, since your mother sent you here, I suppose I should tell you. So, how is she? Right now, she is the most critical patient in the hospital. What's wrong with her? She has a bad infection. Her lungs have been filling with fluid and she's having trouble breathing on her own. What are you doing to fix it? You're fixing it, right? We've got her on a respirator to take the pressure off her lungs for now, but we're still waiting on tests so that we can know for sure what the infection is. She's on general antibiotics at the moment, but we won't know what course of drugs to give her until we get the results back. Optimistic. She's gonna get better though, isn't she? I really can't say one way or the other, but we're doing everything we can. You need to understand, even if she does recover, she's not gonna be exactly like she was before. She will need a lot of help. I'd do anything to help her. I'm sure you would. I'm sorry I couldn't give you better news, but it's part of the job. I can only give you the facts, as much as I might like to dress them up. It's okay. I'm glad you're honest with me. Adults never are, not even with each other. It doesn't feel like anyone ever tells the truth.
I wanted the nurse to tell me everything was going to be fine. But I appreciated her honesty.
So it's gotta be like
Everyone
a
is
sister or
always too
something.
worried about upsetting me to simply tell me the truth.
My sister is dying. What the hell? Who are these people? Dad? I can't. Are you okay? I wasn't there. I should have been there. Please, Dad, you're scaring me. I'm sorry for this, for everything. It's not your fault, Dad. Of course it is. She was our responsibility. We're to blame for this. Don't be like this. You know you couldn't have changed anything. If I'd been there, maybe it would have turned out differently. Snap out of this, Dad. I need you. I'm sorry I've not been there for you, for either of you. You've done your best. It wasn't enough. You should go in. You should see her.
I never thought I'd see my father like this. He'd always been so
Is it my
strong
mom?
in spite of
No.
everything. To see him so broken was a shock.
He is... Okay, can we just take a break and say that he is so much bigger than I am? I'm a tiny person. Policewoman, are you sure you two are okay? Yes, nothing hit us. My God, what am I going to do? They're going to take good care of you. You could ride with them in the ambulance, though I recommend you take your other daughter home first. So it is a sister. I can't lose her. She means everything to me. I thought these things were supposed to be safe. Please, ma'am, just take your daughter home and then head to the hospital. They will do everything they can.
That day at the carnival was like a dream. It was all too much to process. I couldn't accept that any of it was really happening. That day at the carnival was like a dream. It was all too much to process. I couldn't accept that any of it was really happening.
So it was a carnival ride? A carnival ride crashed and me and my sister?
The end of Grace. They called her Lady Grace, but in truth, she was the big boss. Nothing happened at the carnival without her approval. When she inherited the carnival from her father, it already had a grand reputation. Under her leadership, it would become so much more. She demanded that everyone who walked through the gates would find something that would amaze, excite, or delight them. There had been a few accidents, but nothing serious. She managed every aspect of maintenance carefully and fired anyone who didn't.
Accidents are not good at
She was always calm and decisive. No matter how bad things got, she always had a plan to fix whatever problems arose. Until the day the big wheel fell.
Oh no.
Only one cart had come loose, and later she was told the damage was so subtle it would have been impossible to spot beforehand. However, that cart had been occupied. A young girl had ridden alone while her mother and sister waited at the bottom.
Oh no!
To any other carnival, a single blameless death might not have been the end. However, their renown worked against them. Soon all their bookings were being cancelled, and it hit everyone hard, especially Lady Grace. She gathered everyone together for one final meal, to remember the good times, to celebrate what they had achieved, to say goodbye.
Oh no, so my sister was in the Ferris wheel and it fell down? Oh.
What's written on the pages of my journal is not a chronicle of my life. None of these moments really happened like this, but this is how I remember them now.
Oh.
Looking back at my childhood, it's hard to understand why I said the things I did. I didn't understand how they would affect the people around me.
Oh, so I did have a sister?
Every choice I remember opens a door to a different world. A dream of how things might have been if I'd made better choices. Been a better person.
Whoa.
When I tore out those pages, I thought I could write a new story. A second chance when I'd lost all hope. A better history than the one that actually happened.
I wonder if these are actual video game companies. Locked Door Puzzle, Studio Trophis. I wonder if these are actual games. Anyways, so she took out the pages of her journal to rewrite the story. Bye.
In this new reality, we'd still be together. We'd be happy. But eventually, I had to wake up.
Oh.
This is the day my sister died.
Oh. No. I'm sorry I haven't been to visit in a while. Just wanted to be strong like you. I wanted to sit by your bed until you were better. I'm not strong though. Seeing you like this, it's too much for me. When it happened, it was like the whole thing was just a dream. I didn't know what to think. I couldn't believe it was real. Mom didn't want to let me see you at first. I was so scared nobody would tell me what was happening. But when I first saw you lying here, I thought everything would be fine. You looked fine. I just tried to convince myself that you were going to get better. That's what people in hospitals do, right? One day they'd tell me you'd improved, but the next day they'd say you were worse again. Eventually I asked Mom to stop telling me how you were. I stopped coming to see you. I'm sorry. It was selfish, and I don't like how it made me feel. The room is disgusting now. But now, they don't want to say it, but they're losing you. You're going to be gone soon. Feels like you've already been gone for a while. Like my sister died at the carnival, and this is just a body that's been hanging around ever since. I've been lying to myself every day, tricking myself into thinking my life could just go on as if nothing was happening. It's easy. Nobody else wants to talk about you either. If I mention you, they barely respond or just change the subject. They're all carrying on like normal, but I'm falling apart. They say they're there for me, but they don't mean it. I feel so alone in all of this. You were the only person I could ever talk to about stuff like this, and now you're... Mom sent me in here so I could say goodbye, but I can't do it.
See you around, sis.
Ah.
I'm sorry I lied to you. I didn't tell you about her. About how amazing she was. I should have used our time together to explain to you just how caring and generous she was. I'm not saying she was perfect, but she was a better person than I could ever be. She made me who I am, and by pretending she didn't exist, I've betrayed her. I'm still selfish.
Ugh.
I built a dream world for myself, a place where I only had to worry about my own problems and forgot about everyone else's. Maybe I've not changed that much since I was a kid. I could have said thousands of words about her, and you'd still not know her like I did. You'd never understand what she meant to me, or why. I want to tell you that I think about her every day, but that wouldn't be true either. Some days it's easier to just focus on what's in front of me than remember the sadness eating away at me. I want to tell you that the memories I have of her are of the good times we shared. but remembering her face brings me pain. It reminds me how empty, how alone I feel without her. I want to tell you that it's become easier over time. Maybe it has, but every time I wake up from dreams about her, it's like losing her all over again. She would be so proud to see how far I've come. I couldn't have done it without her. I hate that she couldn't see what she gave me. I know I'm not special. We all lose people, and although I'd lost people before, losing her hurt me in a way I can't put into words. Many of our struggles in life make us stronger, but this broke me down. It gave me wounds that might never heal, scars that might never fade. I'm a weaker person now. Maybe that's how it should be. I wish I had some final, clever thought to end with. One that might make you understand what all this was about. But all I have is me. A broken, messed up person, trying to struggle through a life that doesn't make sense. That's just who I am.
Ending footage contains clips from the Glasgow Cow Family. The Wichita Years by Alan Glasgow. What is that? Okay, I guess that's just a family in the 50s that was filmed for a documentary or something like that in Oklahoma. Okay, so that was Journal. I've been stewing on this a little bit. I probably cut it out. I've been sitting here kind of digesting everything, gathering my thoughts a bit, and kind of trying to figure out how I feel about this story. So, I'm gonna lead this by saying I play video games regardless of reviews on Steam. I've played on the channel video games that have negative reviews, neutral, mixed, positive, all kinds of reviews. I make my own reviews. I believe every game deserves a chance, and I will play any game on the channel because I believe they all deserve chances. So, getting that out of the way, here we go. So, the story of Journal. This entire time, you're kind of led to believe that you're just going through the life of a young girl, when in reality, you are going through a grown-up woman, I'm assuming, who is looking back at her past and rewriting her journal. Maybe this is like a couple years later, after her sister actually dies, rewriting her journal, trying to make new memories, if she could, about her broken life. So, the story of Journal is you are a young girl who is going throughout life, middle school, high school, can't remember the class, just dealing with friends, with drama with friends, losing friends, love interests, and also dealing with something very heavy, like a parent's divorce, dealing with something like that. So you just follow her around, make choices make different choices that change the story a little bit and change how she responds to things in a tiny way. And then you lead up to something that is clearly wrong. There are points in the game where there's text that is just constantly scrolling, like some kind of glitch, and I'm taking that to mean that the author of the journal couldn't bear to write about it, so she kind of just left it. So then you get to the end where this kind of weird mystery has been hanging over the girl, and you get to the end, you figure out her sister's in the hospital, and her sister is dying because there was an accident at the carnival, or at a carnival that she and her mother and her sister went to, and a Ferris wheel cart fell off, and her sister is in the hospital dying, and she eventually passes away. And this is kind of the story of this girl, maybe a couple years later, maybe 30 years later, I don't know, trying to make that tale different, maybe to try and heal, or maybe to try and just tell the story to somebody else. But that is basically, in a nutshell, Journal. Now, before I get into anything else, I'm going to say that the main reason why I play video games is for stories. I'm not one for competition. I'm not one for first-person shooters or leaderboards or MMOs, really. I love stories. I love things that have any kind of story. I feel like video games are amazing. I feel like they're revolutionary, not just because I enjoy to play video games or like they're fun, but because through video games you are given the opportunity to sit down in front of a computer screen or a console screen, and you are given the opportunity to sit down and feel, to sit down and connect, to walk through a world that isn't yours, and to feel things inside of you resonating from the story of that world. And I think that is amazing. That is one of the main reasons why I play video games. That's why there's so many story-driven games on the channel, is because I love them so much. So I'm also going to say, before I get into the rest of the review, if you are going through loss of a loved one, a family member, a best friend, a lover, it doesn't have to be family. Losing anybody can hurt. If you are going through it, you need to know that you have no pressure to make yourself move on at anybody else's pace but your own. If you're going through loss, you should focus on yourself rather than what other people around you are telling you. And that sounds wrong, because you want to reach out for help, you want to talk to people. Do that, but do not let the people that you talk to tell you how to heal, is what I'm saying. Because some of you might not know this, because I talked about this a lot earlier in my Twitch and YouTube career, because that's when it happened. But in 2015, in November, I lost a friend to suicide. We were close. He was a beacon of light in my life and just an inspiration and a joy to be around. But in the end, he took his own life, and that was earth-shattering. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through, and I've gone through many terrible, hard things that maybe we'll get into at some other point in time, but it was one of the most painful experiences I have ever been through. And it took a long time to get to where I am, 2 years later, almost 2 years later. But I learned a lot. Every single person on this planet deals with loss differently, and they grieve at a different pace. And if you're going through loss, I can tell you, you don't have to listen to me. Many people have probably told you, you will go on. Time doesn't stop even though you want it to. You have to go on carrying the memory of who that person was, and you just need to keep moving, because they wouldn't want you to stop, because they're gone. So I'm done with that. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and get on with this review here. So, Journal's pretty short. It's about 2.5 hours. I've been playing it for a little bit. I do have a couple issues with this game. I actually do. I'm partial to games where I resonate with the story, and a lot of times that makes me feel a little bit biased, because experiences in my past or things that I've been through might make me have more connections to the game, or maybe might change my review, but this game is making it real hard. So, we'll start with controls. The controls in Journal are fine. It's space and arrow keys to move. I did not see it coming at all. I thought this was like a point and click thing, but so nothing's wrong with the controls. They're fine. Whatever, it's all good. Audio? The audio is fine. The background audio you might recognize a little bit because it's all over YouTube. It is made by Kevin MacLeod. He's a very popular YouTube background artist. And I don't mean like YouTuber, I mean like he makes, like half the YouTube sound gallery is Kevin MacLeod. So you might have heard some of it before. I had no issue with the background music. The narration, the dialogue was pretty shoddy. It was nothing to write home about. It was staticky. It almost sounded like the girl was in the earlier parts of the game. I didn't enjoy the girl's narration because it sounded so rough. It sounded so forced and flat. The carnival narrator guy, he was fine. I enjoyed it. The audio quality was still not. It sounded like they were talking in an empty room, like I do, because I don't have any sound panels on. So it did have echo in it. That doesn't ruin it, but there wasn't any kind of emotion at the beginning. But my opinion of that kind of changes at the end of the girl's narration, because when she's talking about her sister dying and she's talking about this experience she's been through, she sounds like she's choking up. She sounds like it's 100% real, and that kind of pulled me back. So I would say I did enjoy the narration. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst, and it was still fine in the end. Graphics, I enjoy the graphics. I actually really do. The art style is very unique. None of the characters have faces. They are all hand-drawn. Each frame, they kind of like pulse in a weird way. They have like one frame of themselves and then another frame that's slightly distorted so that they're moving back and forth that kind of simulates movement. And I kind of enjoyed that, actually. I think the walking animations, the sound, the scene design, the set pieces were very nice. I enjoyed the drawn style. The 3D models were a little bit shoddy at the end. They were a little bit uneven, a little shaky, but it still looked pretty dang good for what it is. And I did enjoy it. So I have an issue with this game. I actually do have an issue with this game. The story was pretty dang good. It was actually good. It threw me a loop at the end because I didn't even realize that somebody was dying until this episode. But the main problem I have with the game is how the developers went about dialogue choices. I thought it was infuriating. I'm not sure if I'm just dumb, if I was misunderstanding something, but there were dialogue options where it was not clear, like talking to Keith when it was Anne or Catherine. It wasn't specifying, are you against them or are you for them? It didn't tell you what your choice was going to do. Like, the choices were emotions and her response came out weird. It came out really shoddy. I have another problem, like for instance, I have a problem with Fallout 4's dialogue. That's a bit of a newer game, but I have a problem with that dialogue because you could be talking to somebody and you pick an option that says neutral or calm, and the character just like loses their fucking mind, just goes off the rails, just talking about something that wasn't even brought up in the previous dialogue, and you're just kind of left sitting there with everybody being angry at you because you picked the wrong dialogue option when it didn't even tell you what the character was going to say. Now, this is a short game, it's an indie game. It's not breaking my mind that it wasn't perfect, that it wasn't flawless, but I do feel like they could have made the dialogue system, because if you're gonna have a game based off of choices, where choices affect how the world is and how people act in different paths, I feel like you should have a more specific dialogue option choice. Maybe instead of just putting one-word phrases, do sentences. The beginning of the sentences would have been much better than just having one word. That is just me. That is something that I constantly ran into in the game. It wasn't just something that was a one-time thing. It was every single dialogue option I chose I almost had an issue with, so that is my only grievance with this game. Other than that, I thought it was a very pleasant experience. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. This is going to be the finale of Journal next Tuesday and or Thursday, depending on when this flies up on the channel, probably today. But next Tuesday or Thursday, we will have a brand new series coming up, and it is a good one. I hope you guys are excited for it because I'm hyped. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please give some love to the Journal developers' Locked Door Puzzle down in the description below. But please give them some love. Their links will be on the description down below. Check out the Steam store page where you can get this game for about $10 US, I believe. And check out the links to Journal's main website. They will all be in the description below, as always. And that is it. We finished the game. This is another series wrapped up. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Thank you for sticking with me during this series. I want to say another thing is, I say that I'll play any game on my channel, and that's within reason. Some of them are just inappropriate, like the straight up sex, anime, novel things. I'm not gonna play those, but I say I'll play any game on the channel, and it's a little scary as a small YouTuber to make a claim like that, because if you don't play a game that has some kind of recognition, you're probably gonna get less views. And I've never thought of that as something that's groundbreaking to me. I still want to play every game that I can on my channel. And I gotta say thank you guys for seeing these random games like Journal or Leaving Lindau, or way back to like the Journey of Life or something like that, whatever that was called. Thank you guys for supporting these short series of not too well-known games. I really appreciate that. It really keeps me going, so thank you guys. Anyways, please have a did you like the video? If you liked it, then leave me a like or comment below, and if you liked me, then subscribe today for some more content in the future. Anyways, have a fantastic day and around out there wherever you are, ladies and gentlemen, and please stay safe. Much love to your faces. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.